Welcome back to the Conversion Bible, the show where we unlock those secrets to skyrocketing your Shopify sales. And you know what? This deep dive is brought to you by our friends over at Growth Suite.
Growth Suite, that's right.
It's the Shopify app, the one that helps you run all those really smart discount campaigns that get people clicking add to cart.
Yeah.
So if you want to try it out for yourself totally free, head over to the Shopify App Store.
Yeah, free trial.
Free trial. You got it. Okay, today we are diving deep into something that can, honestly, make or break your Shopify success. We're talking about visuals, baby.
That's right.
Because let's be real, those product photos, those videos, even that fancy 3D tech we hear so much about, they can be the difference between a shopper scrolling on by and them hitting that buy button.
It's huge.
Huge. So we're going way beyond the surface today.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that typical, blog post skim here.
Yeah.
We're going to uncover the psychology behind why visuals are so powerful for e-commerce and give you some killer strategies that you can implement right away, right on your store.
Absolutely. Actionable steps that you can take literally today to start seeing those conversions climb.
I love it. Okay, let's set the stage. Imagine you're scrolling online and you see that product, right? That product that makes you stop dead in your tracks. Maybe it's a stunning photo. Maybe it's a demo video that just draws you in. You know the feeling, you instantly want that thing.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Oh, yeah. That's the power of visuals in e-commerce, right?
It is, and it makes sense when you think about it. When you're shopping online, you can't actually touch the products, right?
Right.
You can't feel the fabric or pick it up and examine it. So visuals, they become your touch, your feel experience. Those high-quality images, engaging videos, 3D views, they all help bridge that gap.
They let the shopper kind of experience the product, even if they're miles away. Okay, and here's a fact that just blows my mind every time. Humans process visuals like 60,000 times faster than text. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's a powerful stat. And it speaks to how our brains are wired, From an evolutionary perspective, we relied on visual cues for survival way before we were ever, writing sonnets or shopping online.
So like instinctual, right?
Totally. And that instinct, it carries over to how we shop online. A strong visual, it can instantly grab your attention, make you feel something, and ultimately drive that purchase decision, all in a split second.
Wow. Okay, so we all agree visuals are king.
Yeah.
But let's get real for a second. The average Shopify conversion rate hovers around what, like 1.4%?
Yeah, something like that. Which means that out of every 100 people who visit your store, only 1 or 2 actually buy something.
Yeah. But then you've got those top stores, those rock stars who are hitting like 3.2% or higher. What's their secret weapon?
Visuals play a massive role. These top brands, they get it. They understand that investing in high-quality imagery and videos, it's a signal to the shopper that they care, both about their products, but also about the customer experience. It builds trust right from the start.
So it's not just about pretty pictures. It's about that trust factor, that feeling of, okay, this brand is legit.
Exactly. And that trust, it translates into sales. Studies show that brands who nail their visual strategy can see conversion rates up to 7 times higher. Think about that. Plus, adding something as simple as a product video can boost traffic to your page by over 40%.
That's incredible. People really do want to see a product in action before they commit to buying, huh?
They do, and a well-crafted video, it gives them that virtual test drive. It lets them picture themselves using your product, experiencing those benefits. It's a game changer.
So we know amazing visuals are non-negotiable for any Shopify store that wants to win. But let's break down how to actually create those images, those videos that convert like crazy. Where do we even begin?
Well, the foundation is, and always will be, great product photography. Those crisp, well-lit photos from multiple angles, they're essential. It's about showing off the product in the most authentic way.
The little red carpet treatment.
Yeah, exactly. Professional photo shoot for your products. But there's more to it than just aesthetics, right? We also have to think about the technical side, optimizing image size and those file names. That stuff's crucial for user experience, but also for SEO, making sure people can actually find your products when they're searching online.
So it's a bit of a balancing act, right? You want that visual appeal, but you also need that technical performance behind the scenes.
Think of it like this. The image, that's the star of the show, but optimization is like the stage crew, making sure everything runs smoothly.
I love that analogy. Okay, so now we've got all these awesome images, but how do we present them? We've got galleries, carousels, lightboxes. How do we choose what's best for our store and our products?
Each of those presentation styles has its own strengths. Galleries are great for showcasing variety, while carousels can be a little more dynamic, catch the eye a bit more. Light boxes, they let shoppers get that closer look without cluttering up the page.
So many options.
Hmm.
But how do we make sure it's user-friendly? We don't want to overwhelm people with too many images or make it hard for them to find what they're looking for.
That's where thoughtful planning and testing come in. We need to think about the flow of the page. How easily can a shopper browse those images? Are there any extra clicks, any confusing navigation? The goal is to guide them towards that add to cart button, make the whole process frictionless.
Right, so it's not just throwing images on a page. It's about crafting an experience that leads to action. Okay, so we talked a lot about static images, but we can't forget about the powerhouse of e-commerce video.
Oh, video, it's a whole other level of engagement.
It is. It brings products to life in a way that photos just can't. So where do we start with video content? What are some of the must-haves for our Shopify stores?
Well, product demo videos, they're a fantastic place to start. They're like those mini infomercials. They showcase your product in action. You highlight features, benefits, things that you just can't capture with words alone.
It's like giving your shoppers that front row seat,
Right.
letting them experience the product firsthand, even if they're just sitting on their couch.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just showcasing, right? You're educating them about the product, answering any questions they might have, even addressing any objections they might have before they even think of them.
It's about building that trust, the credibility, but through video.
Exactly.
So demo videos, definitely a must-have. Now let's talk about shoppable videos because things are getting really interesting here. What is that all about?
Shoppable videos, it's like taking things to warp speed in terms of interactivity. Imagine this. Your shopper's watching a video, and bam, they can click directly on the items they see in that video and add them to their cart without ever leaving that video player.
Talk about removing friction from the buying process. It's like an impulse buying on steroids, but in a good way.
Oh, right. It's super smooth.
Okay, but videos, they're not just about the product itself, right? They can also showcase the people who love those products, your customers.
Yeah, that's right. Customer testimonials, social proof videos, these are all about authenticity. When you see a real person talking about their positive experience with your product, that can be so much more persuasive than any fancy marketing copy you could write.
It's like word of mouth on steroids. You see the real person, you hear their story, you feel their enthusiasm. That's powerful stuff. Okay, so video, definitely a key player in our visual strategy. But let's broaden things out a bit and talk about user-generated content, UGC. This is where your customers become your brand ambassadors.
Well, UGC is pure gold, especially in today's world where consumers are bombarded with ads and marketing messages. They crave authenticity. And when they see real people using your product, showing it off in their own unique way, it just resonates on a whole other level.
It's like having this army of micro-influencers who already love your brand, right? They're creating content that feels relatable, genuine, trustworthy.
It builds trust because it comes from the customer, not directly from the brand.
Exactly. And it's not just about pretty pictures. It's about community building, right?
Yeah.
When people see themselves featured by a brand they love, they're more likely to share that content, engage on social media, and come back for more.
Absolutely. It creates this positive feedback loop.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Social proof, community building, and often free content for your brand. I love it.
Yeah.
But how do we actually encourage customers to create this UGC, to share their love for our products?
There are a few really effective strategies. Running contests, offering loyalty points for UGC submissions, those can be great motivators. Or even just a simple ask and a follow-up email after a purchase. Hey, love your new shoes, share a photo with us.
Make it easy and fun, right?
Exactly. The easier it is, the more people will participate.
Awesome. Before we jump into some even more advanced visual tech, let's take a quick pause to hear from our sponsor.
All right.
This deep dive is powered by Growth Suite. You know, the one, that Shopify app that helps you run those super smart discount campaigns?
You want to try it.
You do want to boost your sales and conversions. Head over to the Shopify App Store and start your free trial today. All right, now back to our deep dive into the world of visuals.
All right, let's get futuristic.
I love it. We've seen how images and videos can, totally transform a Shopify store. But now we're talking about the tech that's, pushing boundaries, redefining what's possible in e-commerce. I'm excited. What wonders await us?
We're about to step into the future. Get ready. First up, 3D product visualization. Just imagine, your customers can actually virtually hold your products, spin them around, zoom in, and see every little detail, 360 degrees.
Whoa, it's like like teleporting your showroom right into their living room.
Yeah.
No more guessing about the size or the shape or what the texture's really like. They can basically experience it, almost like they're holding it in their hands.
It's bridging that gap between shopping online and, that in-person experience.
Right.
3D visualization, it adds a level of immersion that honestly you just can't get with, your standard photos and videos.
I can see how this would be a total game changer for like furniture stores or anyone selling products where size and those little details really matter. But I'm guessing creating those 3D models, you can't be cheap. Is it really worth it for every single product?
Yeah, that's a good point. It is an investment, so it makes sense to really prioritize those products that
Right.
would benefit the most from that kind of detailed interaction. So think furniture, electronics, jewelry,
Uh-huh.
anything with like intricate details that shoppers really want to see up close.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So what else is out there? What else is shaking things up in this visual e-commerce world?
Animated product imagery, that's another really cool trend that's emerging.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Think like subtle animations that bring your product to life on the screen. They highlight those key features.
Yeah.
They grab attention, in a way that a static image just can't.
Yeah, I've seen those. It's like little movement goes a long way.
It does, and it catches the eye without being too distracting.
Right, right.
And the cool thing is AI is making it easier than ever to create these animations. There are tools out there that can automatically generate those subtle movements and show how a product works. Add a little dynamism to those product pages.
That's really cool. It's like having a little virtual product demonstrator working 24/7.
Right.
What about augmented reality? That seems to be like the buzzword everyone's talking about these days. Is it all it's cracked up to be?
Augmented reality, AR, yeah, it really is the next frontier. This is where we're talking about letting customers virtually try on clothes, see how that new sofa would look in their living room, or even test out different makeup shades, all through their phone or tablet.
It's like having a virtual fitting room or a personal stylist right there in your app. That's pretty wild.
It is. It takes personalization to a whole new level. And the technology is still, it's still evolving, but it's becoming more accessible for Shopify stores.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, there are, dedicated apps, web features that can help you integrate these immersive experiences.
This is seriously blowing my mind. But with all this, all these fancy visuals and cutting edge tech, we can't forget about the basics, right?
And fundamentals.
Yeah, the fundamentals, like page speed, making sure all these visuals work on everyone's phones. That stuff still matters, right?
Oh, absolutely. Technical optimization, it's mission critical.
Yeah.
You can have the most amazing visuals in the world, but if they take forever to load or they just don't work on mobile, it's going to hurt your conversions.
It's like having a sports car with a sputtering engine.
Yeah.
Looks great, but it's not going to get you very far.
The perfect analogy. Let's start with page speed. No one wants to wait around for a slow website, right? If those images are taking too long to load, shoppers are going to bounce before they even see how beautiful they are.
Yeah, patience is it's in short supply these days. So how do we speed things up? What are some of the tricks of the trade?
Lazy loading, that's a really effective technique. Images only load when the user actually scrolls down to them, so you keep things moving quickly. And it prevents unnecessary strain on their internet connection.
It's like magic. Now, I've heard of CDNs, content delivery networks. Can those help with page speed too?
Oh, absolutely. A CDN, it's basically like this network of servers all over the world. So when a shopper visits your store, the images are delivered from the server that's closest to them. So that means faster loading times, a smoother experience.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, what about mobile optimization? Because let's be honest, more and more people are shopping on their phones these days. Our visuals, they have to work on those smaller screens.
Yeah, responsive design is essential. Images, they need to adjust their size automatically depending on the device. Galleries need to be touch-friendly, easy swiping, easy zooming, and, we want to make sure those videos, they're not auto-playing and draining data or just annoying mobile users.
Yes, so many things to think about. And on top of that, we have to make sure our visuals are accessible to everyone.
Right.
Right.
Accessibility is so important. We need to provide alt text for images so that people with visual impairments can understand what's being shown. We also need to ensure good color contrast and use, those compliance tools to make sure everything's good to go.
I love that we can create these experiences that are, both beautiful and inclusive. Okay, we've talked about all these different visual elements, but how do we actually tie it all together into a strategy? how do we use these visuals strategically at each stage of that customer journey? From the moment someone lands on our homepage all the way to checkout.
It's all about mapping out those touch points and using visuals to guide those shoppers along the way, each step of the journey.
Okay, I like it. So first impressions matter, right? What do we do with that all-important homepage?
Your homepage, that's your digital storefront, right? It needs to grab attention. It needs to set the tone for your brand. Think big, bold hero images, you know? Showcase your best-selling products. Capture the essence of your brand story.
Yeah, I love those like full-screen hero images.
To make an impact.
Yeah, they really do. And of course, we want to make it super easy for shoppers to find what they're looking for.
Absolutely. That's where category visualization comes in. Use, simple but striking graphics, guide shoppers to different product categories quickly, and remember, what appears above the fold, that's the most important real estate. The key visuals, the calls to action, that all needs to be visible without scrolling.
Okay, so the homepage, it's about capturing attention, directing shoppers to the right places.
Exactly.
What about collection pages? Where people are browsing specific categories.
Consistency. Consistency. That is key. Use the same lighting, the same angles, those same backdrops for your product images.
Okay.
Create that professional, cohesive look across all your products. It's like arranging, a beautifully curated display in a brick and mortar store.
Right.
You want that visual harmony. Right. Invite those shoppers to explore. And for certain categories, like clothing or outdoor gear, those lifestyle shots, they can be really effective. Showing the products in action helps shoppers envision themselves actually using them.
Yeah, it's all about storytelling.
It is. And don't forget about those filtering and sorting aids. Make it easy for shoppers to narrow down their choices. Provide those visual cues to differentiate items, things like color swatches or, those little size icons.
Okay, lots of great tips there. Now let's talk about the heart of it all, the product page.
Yes.
This is where, the buying decision really happens.
This is it. Product pages need to be like those visual powerhouses. You have to provide all the information, all the visual stimulation they need to make a decision. That primary image, that's crucial. Showcase the product from its best angle, create that desire.
Okay, so we need a beautiful hero shot with zoom capabilities so they can really see those details. And of course, plenty of additional images showcasing the product from all those different angles.
Exactly. Anticipate any questions that they might have and answer them visually. Think about close-up shots to show texture and detail, and those lifestyle shots, again, to show the product in context.
Like giving shoppers a little virtual tour of the product.
Exactly. And make sure that image gallery is easy to use, easy to navigate.
Right.
Shoppers should be able to effortlessly flick through those images, without getting lost or frustrated.
Okay, so we've captured their attention with a homepage. We led them to the right products on those collection pages, showcased everything beautifully on those product pages. Now they're adding items to their cart. How can we use visuals to create a smooth and reassuring checkout process?
The checkout process should build confidence. It should build trust. So start by including those cart thumbnails, just that small but clear image of each item in the cart. It reminds shoppers what they're buying, reassures them they've chosen the right products.
It's like a visual confirmation.
Right.
Before they hit that buy now button.
And what else can we do to make it feel safe, secure? Visual trust signals. Adding a security badge, a well-known payment logo. Those can go a long way in reassuring shoppers, especially if they're new to your brand.
Yeah, those little details really do matter. And how about just ending the experience on a positive note?
Absolutely. That order confirmation page, don't underestimate the power of that. Simple thank you message, maybe a cheerful graphic, or even a short animation, something celebratory.
It's like a cherry on top.
It is. Leaves them with a good feeling about their purchase, about your brand.
I love it. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, from product photography to AR, all these crazy things.
Yeah.
But how do we know if all this hard work is actually paying off?
We've got to look at the data. We need to track how those shoppers are interacting with our visuals and then make data-driven decisions to continuously improve.
Data is power.
It is.
So what kind of metrics should we be paying attention to?
Engagement metrics, those are a great starting point. Are shoppers actually spending time on the pages that have lots of visuals? Are they clicking through those image galleries? Are they watching your videos? Those are all signs that those visuals are actually doing their job, keeping them engaged.
It's like tracking foot traffic in a in a physical store, right?
Right.
If people are lingering and looking around, that's a good sign.
Exactly. And we want to track conversion rates by visual element. Do product pages with videos have a higher conversion rate than those without? Are shoppable images actually leading to more sales? That data, it helps you figure out which visuals are really moving the needle.
So we can double down on what's working and
Right.
maybe ditch what's not. What about tying those visuals directly to revenue? Is that possible?
Attribution modeling, that's your answer. It helps you see if those pages with the beautiful images, the engaging videos, if they're actually leading to more sales. It proves that ROI.
I love seeing those numbers. But tracking is only half the battle, right? How do we make sure we're constantly improving, refining that visual strategy?
A/B testing, that's our secret weapon.
Oh yeah, A/B testing.
It allows you to compare different versions of those visuals and see which ones perform the best.
So A/B testing, it's like a scientific approach to visual optimization.
It is. It's all about running those controlled experiments.
Yeah.
So let's say you want to see which hero image performs better on your homepage.
Yeah.
You can test two different options and track which one gets more clicks. Or you can compare two different product page layouts, one with video, one without, and see which one converts better.
It takes the guesswork out of it. I love it. Now, we're gathering all this data about our visuals, but how do we actually make sense of it all? What kind of tools are out there that can help us track our performance and get those insights?
Shopify Analytics, that's a good place to start. Gives you that basic overview of your store's performance. You can see how changes to those visuals might be affecting key steps in that customer journey.
It's like having a built-in health check for your store.
Exactly. But if you want to get really granular, see exactly how people are interacting with your visuals, tools like Hotjar, those are incredibly powerful.
Hotjar, okay.
Yeah, Hotjar offers like heat maps and those session recordings that actually show you where people are clicking, how far they're scrolling, how they're engaging with those product images and videos.
Wow, it's like we're peering directly into the minds of our shoppers. That's pretty cool.
It is. And then if you want to really slice and dice your data, you can set up custom reports in, Google Analytics 4, or even explore those third-party dashboards that, they give you those deeper insights into very specific metrics. It really depends on your needs, how much data you want to dive into.
There's a whole world of data out there.
Yeah.
But sometimes the best way to learn is to just see what other people are doing.
Yeah.
Are there any brands out there that you think are just absolutely killing it with their visuals, like real-world examples that we can learn from?
Oh, definitely. We can look at a few case studies if you want.
I love a good success story.
Yeah.
Let's hear how these brands, they transformed their visuals and actually saw those conversions skyrocket.
All right. Let's start with a fashion retailer. They were really struggling to stand out. Product photos were, they were just kind of bland. Plain white backgrounds, no styling, nothing special. Their conversion rate was 1.8%.
Oof, not great.
Yeah.
So what did they do? What did they do to turn things around?
They decided to inject some personality into their visuals. They started using those lifestyle shots that showed the clothes, in real-world settings. They integrated their Instagram feed.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, to showcase user-generated content, and they even added 360-degree views for some of those key pieces.
Sounds like a complete visual makeover.
It was. And the results, they were pretty impressive.
Let's hear it.
In a couple of months, their conversion rate jumped to 2.6%.
Wow. That's a huge difference.
It is. And they realized that investing in quality visuals, it was crucial for both their brand image and, their bottom line.
That's a great example. It shows that even small changes to your visuals can have a really big impact. What about video? I'm curious to see how video can make a difference, say, for a home goods brand.
Okay. So let's picture a home goods store that decided to embrace video demos. They started adding short, engaging videos to their product pages, showing how those products worked, highlighting those key features.
Right.
The impact was almost immediate.
What kind of impact are we talking about here?
Well, those pages with videos, they saw a 25% increase in average session time, meaning people were spending more time engaging with that content. And the same pages, they saw their conversion rate jump from 2% to 3% in just 6 weeks.
That's incredible. People love to see those products in action. It clearly leads to more sales. Okay, now let's talk about user-generated content. I want to hear a story about a brand that really harnessed the power of their community to drive those results.
All right, picture this. A beauty brand. They launch a UGC campaign. encouraging customers to share those before and after photos.
Oh, I love that idea.
Yeah.
It's so simple, but so effective.
It is, and they use a branded hashtag.
Smart.
Yeah, so it's easy to track.
So what happened?
The campaign blew up. Thousands of customers participated.
Wow.
So that's massive social media exposure for the brand.
Yeah.
Huge surge in brand awareness.
That's the beauty of UGC, right? You go viral, but did it actually lead to more sales?
Oh, yeah, big time. Sales increased by 15% on the product pages that actually featured that user-generated content. It also fostered like this amazing sense of community, this brand loyalty among their customers.
It's proof that those authentic customer stories, those are gold.
They're pure gold.
We've seen how brands are, rocking it with their visuals today.
Mhm.
But what about the future? What trends are on the horizon? What's going to shape the way we shop online in the years to come?
The visual landscape is constantly evolving. We're going to see some truly amazing things. I think one of the biggest trends is the rise of those AI-generated visuals.
Oh, yeah. AI is everywhere these days.
It is, and just imagine tools that can automatically remove backgrounds from product photos, upscale images to create those stunning high-resolution visuals, or even generate virtual models wearing your clothes.
Wow. It's like having this whole team of virtual stylists and photographers working for you 24/7. But I imagine there are, some ethical considerations with this technology.
Of course.
We don't want to create misleading representations of our products.
You're absolutely right. Transparency is key. Shoppers need to know if those visuals are they real? Are they AI generated?
Right.
That disclosure is important. Another really exciting area is personalization. Imagine showing, custom images to each shopper based on their preferences, their browsing history.
Oh, that would make shopping feel so much more tailored, like a personal experience.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And we're going to see even more immersive experiences. Think virtual reality showrooms where you can actually, browse products in this lifelike virtual environment.
Whoa.
Or interactive catalogs that respond to your touch. It's going to get really wild.
It sounds like the future of shopping is going to be a lot more engaging, a lot more fun. What about gamification? Can we use, those game-like elements to kind of enhance the visual experience?
Gamification is a great way to make shopping, more interactive, more memorable. Imagine allowing those shoppers to unlock special product previews by completing a quiz or playing a game.
I love that idea.
Yeah, it adds a little fun, a little whimsy, and it encourages shoppers to, stick around, explore your store.
Okay, so we're gamifying things. What about the way we discover products? Is that going to change too?
Visual search, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Imagine taking a photo of a product that you like with your phone.
Right.
And then instantly you can find that same product or similar items, across different online stores.
That would be so convenient. It's like having your own personal shopping assistant.
It is, and visual search is going to make it easier than ever for those shoppers to find what they're looking for. And for brands, it's going to be essential to optimize those product images for visual search engines. We've covered so much ground today, from the psychology behind visuals all the way to the, mind-blowing tech that's shaping the future. It's time to put all this knowledge into action.
Okay, let's bring it all home. Give us that roadmap to visual optimization. What are the key takeaways we need to remember?
First and foremost, prioritize quality. Whether it's those product photos, the videos, that user-generated content, make sure it's high resolution, visually appealing.
Right.
Your visuals, they represent your brand.
It's like putting your best foot forward.
It is. Show those shoppers that you care.
Okay, quality.
And remember the power of storytelling. Use those visuals to connect with shoppers on an emotional level. Create that memorable experience.
Okay, quality, storytelling. What else?
Don't forget about those technical details. Page speed, mobile optimization, accessibility. You want to make sure those visuals are enjoyable, usable for everyone.
So we've got quality, storytelling, technical optimization. What's next on our visual optimization to-do list?
Let's talk action. Step 1, you've got to look at your existing visuals. Be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have blurry product photos? Are there products that could really benefit from a video demo?
It's like cleaning out your closet.
It is. Get rid of the old, make room for the new.
Out with the old, in with the new. I like it.
And then prioritize those updates. Start with your best sellers, the ones that have the most potential.
Right. Start small.
You don't have to overhaul everything at once.
Make progress, build momentum.
Exactly. And think about your resources. Do you need to hire a photographer, a videographer, or can you handle some of that in-house? Find the right solution for your budget, your needs.
Oh, okay. And once we've got all those, those amazing new visuals ready to go, what's next?
Time to integrate and test. Roll out those new visuals, start tracking your metrics, and don't be afraid to A/B test. Remember, data is your friend.
It is. It tells you what's working.
It'll tell you what resonates, what needs tweaking.
So it's a constant process of improvement, analyze, adjust, keep moving forward.
Visual optimization, it's a journey, not a destination.
I like that. Before we move on to our final thoughts, let's hear from our sponsor one more time.
Sounds good.
This deep dive is powered by Growth Suite, the Shopify app that helps you run those smart discount campaigns. Want to boost those sales and conversions? Test it for free on your Shopify store. Head over to the Shopify App Store, start your free trial today.
All right, welcome back to the Conversion Bible. We are wrapping up our deep dive into all things visual optimization for your Shopify store, you with me.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground, from those like photography basics to those, mind-bending AI and AR experiences. It's been a wild ride. But now it's time to crystallize all those amazing insights into a visual playbook. Something you can actually use to transform your Shopify store.
Your cheat sheet to captivating those shoppers, boosting engagement, and of course, driving those conversions.
I love it. Give it to us straight. What are those core principles we need to remember?
Okay, so number one, quality is king, always. It doesn't matter if it's product photos, videos, user-generated content, make sure it's high resolution, visually appealing. It's a reflection of your brand.
It's like putting your best foot forward, right? Show shoppers that you're serious about presenting those products in the best way possible.
Exactly. And don't forget about consistency. Keep that visual style cohesive across all your channels, website, social media, emails, everything.
It's like your signature look, right? People instantly recognize your brand no matter where they see it.
You got it. Now, beyond just looking good, think about storytelling. Use those visuals to connect with shoppers on a deeper level.
Yeah, those lifestyle shots, customer testimonials, those real-world stories, it helps people picture themselves using your product, experiencing those benefits.
Right. You're painting a picture in their mind. Now, even the best story can fall apart if the technical side isn't working.
Yeah, true. We can't forget about that.
So page speed, mobile optimization, accessibility, those are non-negotiables. Fast-loading images, responsive design that works on any device, those are essential for a good experience. And of course, making sure your content's accessible to everyone regardless of their abilities.
It's about creating a visual experience that's, beautiful but also inclusive.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's talk tactics. What are some things we can do today to make our stores more visually appealing, more persuasive? Give us that step-by-step guide.
All right, start by optimizing your product photography. Invest in those high-quality images. Show those products from every angle. Highlight key features with close-ups. Don't forget those lifestyle shots that tell a story. Remember, those product photos are your digital storefront.
Make them count. What about video? Video is your friend. Embrace it. Product demos, shoppable videos, customer testimonials, so many ways to engage those shoppers. Experiment, see what works for your brand.
Video is so powerful. It really brings things to life.
Okay, and then we've got that UGC goldmine. How can we use that more effectively?
Encourage those customers to share their experiences. Run contests, offer incentives, highlight UGC on your product pages and social media. Those authentic stories, they build trust like nothing else.
All right, so those are the essentials. But what about those advanced tactics? The ones that can really, take things up a notch?
Okay, think 3D product visualization. It's a game changer, especially for products where detail and interaction are key. Experiment with animations to, bring those products to life. Even dip your toes into AR. Let shoppers try before they buy.
It's like giving people a sneak peek into the future of shopping. So much to explore. Any final words of wisdom for our listeners before we wrap things up? Remember, visuals, they are powerful. They communicate, they persuade, they connect. Use them strategically to tell your story, showcase your products, create that amazing experience. And always stay curious, because this world of visual commerce is always changing.
So embrace the power of visuals, stay curious, and watch those conversions climb. And don't forget, this deep dive was powered by Growth Suite, the Shopify app that helps you run those smart discount campaigns. Want to boost your sales and conversions? Test it for free on your Shopify store. Just head to the Shopify App Store now and start your free trial. Until next time, happy converting.